Hello guys, my name is Jana and welcome to my channel on Table. You know, the last time when I had the opportunity to show the game in the space in which the binder was leading the players during the game, it was about the board game ISS Vanguard. And this time I also have a binder, but without board, without miniatures and even without cards. To get started, you need 2 dice, a d6 and a d20 and something to write. Everything else is already in this binder. The first pages of this introduction introduce you to the context of this workbook. To get to know this world better, a short introduction awaits you on the following pages. Here you will learn the background. From this intro, you will learn that in the near future, exactly in 2025, the pollution of the Earth, especially in oceans, will reach a critical level. To clean the oceans was create a genetically modified giant Kraken. But a few years later begins a conflict between 3 nations. The Kraken is considered a secret weapon, and one nation decides to destroy this creature. So nuclear torpedoes have been launched. The Kraken tried to escape, but finally was lost. Everyone thought he was dead. However, he kept mutating, growing and increasing his intelligence all the time. As a result of war, the Earth became a dying planet, and the Kraken found a way to manipulate gravity and left Earth. On the next page, you can select your flight type, because everyone wants to get away from the toxic Earth. You can choose from several options offered. Your flight may be a new settlers mission. You will get 1 free item or 1 weapon level 2 for each crew member. It may be a technical crew flight. Here each crew member will get a +1 bonus to the technical attribute. If it is a ship with a military crew, for each crewman there are 1 weapon level 2 including 1 ammo. There may be escaped criminalist on board, but then no one can have higher technical level than 2. You also can be a millionaire and you fly alone on your private ship, but at the start of the game you get 60 credits, so you have something to spend. And finally, the last ship to leave the contaminated Earth is the Fury Gang. In this case, each crew member has 1 weapon level 1 and +1 point to the combat attribute. After this choice, proceed to the selection of storylines. There are 4 storylines in this demo version of this game, and each of them has 4 types. These symbols are related to 4 tables that you will see on the next page. Now, for example, if you choose the first line of storyline 3, symbol 1FF, you have to look at table number 3 and find the letter F in the row and, in this case, the same F in the column and connect. In the table, you will find a lot of symbols, as well as special symbols, such as slashes or exclamation marks. These symbols will guide you to the event on the following pages. There are many different types of linkage. Exploring locations, changing course, looking for the Kraken, encounter with an aliens, fighting. Special symbols, on the other hand, are commands that modify events in various ways. The storylines can be freely combined, so how your cosmic adventure unfolds depends on the relationships of the symbols in the tables and your choices when considering events. After selecting the storyline, the binder direction you to page 54, where you will find feeder procedures. Here you will learn the rules of the game and everything that awaits you in this game and in this universe. Victory conditions, ship and crew, items and weapons, enemies and skills of heroes, artificial intelligence, CGM tracker system, rules of space combat, maps, missions. Each of the issues is described in detail further in the following chapter of this binder. But where to start? At the beginning you have to choose the type of flight and the storyline, which I already told you about a while ago and showed you. So go back to the page 7 and the tables with symbols. Then you decide on the type of your trip. The simulation is recommended for beginners. There is an adventure variant, a real-life variant and a save function. Then create and select your crew. Crew members' cards are at the end of this binder, so we have to move there. Now, we have a total of 8 characters to choose from. You can adjust the attributes of your heroes, but remember that their total values should be not more than 16. Later, you will be able to buy these talents when you level up your character. On the cards, you can write down the items that the character has, as well as the skills he will acquire. You will find more heroes as you play, but you may choose to create heroes by yourself. Then you unfold the tab with characters cards that you fill in yourself. And you have to cut these cards to freely hide unused hero tabs for the game. So you choose 3 heroes to make up the crew of your ship. When creating a crew member, distribute the attribute values properly so that the total is 16. The detailed instruction of page 57 will help you with this. Now you will also be able to buy equipment with your credits. And remember to properly prepare. His stats card is on the back page on this binder. In this prototype, only 1 ship is available, but there are expected to be more different in the base game. The ship can be equipped with many different and useful modules, equipment and weapons. For example, teleport module, armor, some lasers, shields, drones, and many more. At the start, the ship will receive 1 laser and light shields for free. In general, you will have 30 credits at the beginning of the game, and you can spend all of them to armor or equip your ship better. Now let's go back to the phases of the game. The next step is your action phase, in which you can perform one of 3 options. One of them is the initiation of flight. The procedure is described in detail on page 86. In short, you choose the region that is the destination of your flight. Then you set the difficulty level, so now you have to roll the d6 die. You can re-roll or modify the result of the die. In step 2, by selecting one flight option. Then use the site generator on page 70 to define its parameters. So here you need to set the location type. To do this, roll the d6 die and its result is show the type of place. In this case, it is number 4, mining station. But it could be a space station, a planet surface, a base or space. Next, in table 2, we define the external atmosphere. Then in table 3, internal atmosphere, then deep, teleportation range, and also maps. Here the result of the projection will indicate in the table, just like in the storyline, a specific symbol at the intersection. We roll the d6 dice 2 times. 1 time for the row and the second time for a column. My result is 3 and 5. And now I'm combining the values and have the letter G. So I need to find the right map. There are many different types of maps on page 76, and here on page 74 and 5 we have a legend describing all the symbols and colors on the maps. There are 120 different unique map layouts on the following pages, so a really huge number and variety. There are fields here that are obstacles, barrier, inaccessible or difficult to enter areas. They are marked in black and white. It is described in the legend. We also have a green fields with different symbols. For example, this can be clone station for saving the game, or shops or ammo dealers. When it comes to weapons or items, their types, levels and statistics are detailed on page 53. There is a very large selection of various tools needed, from knives, pistols, lasers. There are 72 types of different weapons and items. If you are receive a loot, you roll the d20 die and choose the type of equipment your character gets from the table below. The places where we meet the quest master, who will offer jobs to mercenaries are also marked in green. We can find them even on these maps, in quite hard to reach places. When it comes to quest, when completing the task, go to page 82, where the procedure is described in detail. We can only ask for the quest once, but there are several types of quests in this game. For example, get something, deliver, discover, escort, etc. When you successfully complete the quest, you earn a reward and go back to the weapons and items page. But when the time runs out, because we only have 3 turns to complete the quest, or we fail to complete it, we incur a penalty. Okay, let's go back to the map. There are also places where you will meet enemies. It's the red spaces. Space Combat Rules has its own tab and is resolved according to the specific guidelines. In accordance with prescribed sequences of phases, you resolve a cosmic engagement. So, attack. Hero skills will collide against those of their enemies. Their list can be found on page 50 and 51. When enemy ships are destroyed, they get new. Such support. The enemy tries to enter your ship when your shields are weak. Resolve targets and repair after combat sequences. Now you pilot your ship by dodging enemy attacks. You set your target again and use your weapon again to attack. The enemy attacks too. You are trying to board an enemy ship or escape. In Space Kraken, you can meet 5 different alien races, each with 6 different types of creature and each with their own unique behavior, attributes and skills. Each individual enemy has a card with abilities and special skills. It is used in the same way as with hero cards, for example. When you lose a fight, you can heal your crewmen. If no one survives, you lose the game. But when you win, collect the prize. After that, you go back to the storyline and decide where you go again. You have a lot to discover, such an endless space, even in this demo version of this game. By playing more people, players will split into roles. The first player has a goal, several goals actually, depend on which one target, type of flight and storyline he chooses. Successive players play special roles and each of them behaves different and sometimes has a completely different purpose than the commander. So we are dealing here with a tactical sci-fi RPG game closed in the form of a workbook, form of a binder, in which we will discover new worlds. We will participate in space battles. We will meet monsters and we will perform missions. But before all that, listen, what characters your crew might be composed of. The second player is artificial intelligence, with a lot of knowledge, but due to a damaged communication module, he cannot communicate in a traditional way with other players. So he has access to knowledge but cannot share it. At any time during the game, the first player can link this AI to the ship's communication system. It is very expensive, but it will allow him to speak. In that case, the second player secretly rolls the d20 die. The result determines whether he will tell the truth or lie. The third player is the mascot. He can talk and use items and weapons, but he doesn't like commands. He decides what he does by himself. He can, for example, bite the enemy, but after that he will do nothing. He can heal a crew member. Ultimately, he can sacrifice by blowing up himself and the enemy with a grenade. He will die, but after that, he rolls a d20 die. On a result of +16, return him to the game as another mascot. The fourth player is the antagonist. His goal is to destroy the first player. He communicates with other players to intimidate them and wins when first player is defeated. Thank you guys for your attention. Remember that I showed you a demo version of this game, a prototype. I left the link to the Kickstarter campaign in the description under this video. If you want, you can use it. And if you like this video, it will be great if you leave a subscription and like it. I wish you a great day and see you in next video. Bye bye!